It's not like the guy was Hitler. He was a fucking choir boy. He was, you know what I mean? He wasn't Fuentes. He wasn't Rush Limbaugh. You know what I mean? It's a relatively vanilla conservative. So that don't sit right with me. You know? Like, for instance, I'm sitting here saying Dick Cheney was a piece of shit. But when he died, I wasn't posting memes about it and broadcasting how right I am about my opinions and fuck this guy for being dead, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, it's called, like, tact. You know what I mean when I say tact? You know? I think it's fine to say you don't agree with someone too. Shit, I don't agree with most people, and I am vocal about it. You know? But when somebody is murdered for their political beliefs, that's not really the time to make jokes about them. That's in poor taste, bad form, classless and tactless, right? And these kinds of classless and tactless, these are things we got to get rid of. We got to have some class. We got to have some tact. We have to have, if you're not too soon, you're too late. You're not too soon, you're too late. What do you mean? In what does that mean? Like, in what respect? You mean late to making jokes for the reactions online? Are you talking about like the economics of content creation? People will say it's too soon after someone died to make a joke. Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, while, like, literally when he was shot and before the news came out that he had actually died, people were actively mocking him and making jokes. That's absolutely too soon. And in fact, if you have to wonder about if it's too soon or not, then that in your brain is already doing the good work of telling you that you're acting classless. You know? You're just kind of filtering that, like, you know, will I be considered classless because this is too soon? Or has enough time passed that I can post this thing that would otherwise be considered classless, and enough time has passed that it's okay? Does that make sense? You know what I mean? I think joking and being glad he was dead is different. No thoughts about family, etc. Jokes will always be jokes, but when you are happy someone's dead, it's rather different. Nah, if it's a good joke, let it fly. Someone is inevitably going to get offended no matter where or when you say, oh, dude, you have the freedom to. I'm just saying it's classless. And you'll probably be viewed by other people as classless, other than the other radicals that are engaging in such behavior. I mean, you're absolutely free to do it. It's just classless. You know what I mean? It's a shitty thing to do. Classless to joke about any dead person? No. Classless to mock somebody who was killed. Especially immediately when they were killed. And especially when he was shot in front of his family. And especially when all he did was talk. He wasn't actively perpetuating evil. You know, like some of these people are every day. But yeah, I do think that's classless. It's okay to disagree. A lot of people disagree with me. I can laugh at George Floyd jokes and still think the officer was in the wrong for killing him. These are different things. When you're laughing at a joke, you're receiving the message. When you're distributing the message, it's basically on you what message you're distributing. Receiving the message isn't really on you. You know, that's the passive end of communicating. Making the message is the active end of communicating. And Harley, I think you're right that joking and being glad about somebody being dead is different. You know? I just don't think it's productive. And in fact, I think it's classless to joke about people who were murdered, especially while the issue is still fresh and a lot of people are still reeling and dealing with feelings. You know? Now, look, that doesn't mean I'm going to put some sort of censorship on how people speak. I'm not about that. You know? It's not about what the government allows you to do all the time. It's about your own personal morality. Is that something that you would be okay with representing yourself as somebody who's okay with that? Because I wouldn't. And that's okay if you are. I mean, hey, different strokes for different folks. But my opinion is that is classless behavior. Know what I mean? Now, George Floyd jokes when? Right after it happened? Or George Floyd jokes now? You know what I mean? But it's still classless. Like, I don't know. I don't think that's productive conversations. Is a Holocaust joke classless? Sure. Yeah. Why wouldn't it be? So you think some things are off limits for comedy then? No, I don't. No, I just think that some things, when said or distributed, are indicative of the person saying or distributing them. And so if you would like to be classless, you're free to be classless. But that doesn't detract from the fact that you're classless. Not you specifically, the general you. I'm not a proponent for censoring anybody. You know? But I think that people owe it to themselves and their community to be better people than to be classless pieces of shit like that. Does that make sense? Like, for instance, I wouldn't ban South Park, but I also wouldn't show it to my grandmother. You see what I mean? Or is this just a foreign concept in today's world? The idea of class, time and place, reading the room, tact, respect. Are these things just totally gone? Because it does look like they're disappearing. You know, but this could just be representations in media. I would show South Park to my grandmother and have. Well, you're free to do that, my brother. Go for it. That's the beauty of freedom. You're free to do whatever, you know? And once that wears off, the novelty of just being irreverent for irreverence sake, then what? Do you start to look at self-mastery, self-improvement? You start to look at improving yourself as an individual? Because that's the real work. The real battle's with it. She liked some episodes, actually. Well, I don't know your grandma. Maybe she's got an irreverent sense of humor. The general grandmother is not somebody, that's not South Park's target demographic. So it's a generalization I was making to illustrate my point. You know what I mean? He says, I know. I didn't really show my grandma South Park. I know you did, bro. I know you showed her South Park. That's all right. You don't gotta walk that one back, bro. But yeah, I'm not a proponent for censorship. You know, I don't think that that's a good thing. But I do think that people owe it to themselves to be better than they were. My grandmother couldn't watch TV if someone was even kissing. Bro, I can't watch kissing either, bro. That shit makes me sick. And then the sounds, ugh, get the fuck off my TV, bro. I'm with your grandma, Harley. Me and her gonna be posted up watching TV together. Dude on dude, though. Oh, I mean, no. I mean, yeah, that's gross. That's gross to me because I think men are gross. That has nothing to do with my feelings towards gay people. I just think men are disgusting animals. And of course I would think that. I'm a hetero. Unless they change the names for this again. I know they're rewriting definitions. But I don't like to see anybody kiss. Man and man, man and woman, woman and woman. I don't know. I like women, but I turn kissing off. I don't like the sound of it, bro. I got to look away. I know. Something wrong with me. Some sounds, they trigger me, bro. I don't want to hear that shit. Like when you watch these videos of people cooking and it's just the sound effects. Fuck you, bro. I want none of that shit. That shit makes me insane. Uh-oh. Shannon 4489, the VIP. Bits Leader 1, the number 1. What's this fanatic? Hello. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you dropping in with eyeballs. Shannon will attest. She knows I don't like to watch people kissing. That shit is gross. What is that? Oh, ears. What am I being too loud? Dropping in with eyes and ears. Oh, I see. 2 of the 5 senses absolutely represented. Not bad. 2 out of 5 ain't bad. That's how it goes, right? What was that? Yeah, that's how it goes. That's by Meat Stick. He's a parody artist. Sorry, I'm old. I entertain myself. What the? Oh, my shirt's coming apart. Gee whiz. I got this shirt when I was in middle school, right? Now check the grays. That was a long fucking time ago, bro. I tell you what, when I was in middle school, things were a lot fucking different. But this shirt was just a little bit different. It was a little less frayed. Just a little bit. Man, I'm like rolling up my pant sleeves and then rolling them back down and then rolling them back up, bro. I can't. The thing is, I don't want to start sweating. Because when I start sweating, it's like the fucking Sweat Express. It's like the train has left the station. You know what I mean? Like to stop sweating is like watching a train come to a stop. It has to slow down before it can stop. So I don't want it to even start. So I try to avoid that. So I'm rolling my pant sleeves up, and then I get too cold and I roll them back down. This is the dance I do to avoid the Sweat Express. And there's really no avoiding it. I'm sick. I'm one of them sick